Okay, everyone, let's dive in. Start sitting however you need to sit. And regardless of your uh, experience, your level of experience in any practice of embodiment, see if you can give yourself permission to let go of the expectation of how to sit, of what it's supposed to look like. And see if you can allow yourself to feel it in its ancient truth, the lineage of sitting, the lineage of human movement. And see if you can bring some curiosity to the shape, the geometry of sitting, what the legs have to do, what's happening in the pelvis and the core and in the central axis, the upper body. So there's a deep remembrance that I really love because it's as many beautiful systems. I've come through 35 years of martial arts and yoga, and what it ends up bringing us to eventually is just movement, human functional movement. And here we are sitting. It's a beautiful invitation to land, to arrive, to reorient ourselves, to reset. It's a pivotal moment into presence. And so there are so many pivots, right? The sits bones. How do the sits bones feel as you contact whatever you're sitting on? Are you way up high on the sits bones, or are you falling back on the sits bones, or are you pushing all the way to the front? And see if you can find that place that you'll know intuitively. You found it when you were a baby, when you first started sitting up, and the core became on. It was coming online slowly. That place where you can't really get any taller, but also a place where you feel buoyant, light, and grounded at the same time. You might find that when you orient to the sits bones and the pelvis orients itself in gravity, that it's easier to breathe. Than the two pivots of the hip joints themselves. So as the femurs come into the pelvis, into the dishes of the hip joints, and you're also rotating. Let your pelvis rock a little bit forward and back very slowly. Just let the pelvic pivot happen around the axis of the hip joints. So forward anterior rotation and posterior rotation. And notice, is it possible to move the pelvis within the pelvis instead of moving the pelvis with the belly? So watch me for a moment, like you can do it like this, which is, I'm gonna move my arms so you can see you can move your pelvis like this, which is coming from above, like diaphragmatic motive, which is interesting, right? Try to move just within the pelvis, okay? So rocking backwards and forwards. Okay, keep going. Do whatever you want to with your arms, but allow for this pivot, both on the rocking of the sits bones and within the axis, a horizontal axis through the hips, through the hip joints. And see if you can allow the belly to follow the pelvis, to translate what's happening from the core down deep in the root, up through the torso and down through the legs. Can you translate the upper signal from the belly? So the belly follows the pelvis. This is novel. This is like, that's probably not a good word to use. It's something that is right polarity, meaning that where the midline flows up. And notice when you rock back like this and you're going to drop your chin a little bit, you'll probably round your shoulders. This is not a bad thing. This is just flexion of the spine. And the low belly pulls back gently towards the sacrum. It feels really yummy. And then pull the ground back with your sits bones to rock the pelvis forward and get into a little bit of a back bend. So now let's take the shoulder blades together and look up a little bit and lay the head back on a really soft pillow. And touch your low front ribs with your fingertips and draw the low front ribs to the kidneys and the kidneys back. And lift up and back through the crown. Okay, now while you're looking up, let the pelvis fall back all by itself. And then the wave of flexion moves up the spine. You end up rounding and dropping the chin. Now keep your head down as the pelvis leans forward independently. Then the wave moves up the spine into extension. Shoulder blades closer. Now put your arms out in front of you and grab onto the air. Okay, what we're gonna do is actually open your palms, push your palms forward like Spider-Man. Okay, keep your head up and let the pelvis fall back. Let the spine round bottom to top, rounding the shoulders, drop the chin, melt the arms. Okay, now grab onto the air with your hands like a mime and pull yourself forward, pelvis first, until you have a back bend. In fact, pull the hands right up underneath the shoulders and let the shoulder blades squeeze closer together, draw the kidneys back. And then push yourself. So as you release the pelvis back, push the air forward. Pelvis first, head drops last. Keep the head down, grab onto the air, pull yourself up, pelvis, then lower spine, then thoracic spine, and then cervical spine, shoulders, and head. Keep the eyes up, push forward, the pelvis falls back first. Then the lumbar, and then the thoracic, and then the cervical. You get it. Now continue on your own, pulling yourself into a back bend, pushing yourself into flexion. And you want to go very strong, everyone. So you have to turn on your entire system. We call this many things, just the practice of tonality. But it's also technically pandiculation. That means that globally, your whole body is articulating. So what are your legs doing? What are your legs doing? Are they awake? Are they helping out? Are you able to access all of your fibers, all of your cells? You can get so powerful in this that you start shaking, which is really medicinal. Now let it become your own thing, your own dance, exploring this space and time between the front body and the back body. Pivoting on the sits bones, pivoting in the hips, pivoting now through every vertebra in the spine. And it's really strong. Turn on the chest when you push. Turn on the back when you pull. These are primal functions. Push and pull. Good. Now, go ahead and lay down. That's it, everyone. Great class. Thanks for coming. Oh. Now, push your heels down away from the back of your head. Close your eyes. Practice emptiness. And after the deep intrinsic engagement, intrinsic meaning, in this case, close to the core, close to the midline, in that kind of deep stir, you feel it right now, this beautiful circulatory release, response, spaciousness already, heating, cooling, a sense of the neural space unwinding, unfurling. And let the breath awareness drop to the ground underneath you. So instead of breathing your body, breathe the earth directly beneath you. When you exhale, at least metaphorically, let the breath move down the back of the body and down the sides of the body like you have a long cape, a silken cape that you've laid down on the earth. And you can exhale down these three channels, the two sides and the back. And you can release the heels downstream off of the back of the cranium. And let the inhalation come in patiently without pulling on it or without anxiety, without expectation. In other words, my friends, receive the inhalation and freely give back the exhalation. So I want to do a little bit of, I'm going to go rewind back to yoga and walk your feet in. We're going to do a twist. Now, if you've never twisted with me, I'm going to sound like an auctioneer for a while, okay? So you'll get it in a minute. Cross your right knee over your left knee, stacking the knees, kind of like cow face pose. Go ahead and roll completely onto your left side. Now, when you do this, your right knee's going to touch. Your right knee's going to touch. Go ahead and just lay on your left side. Put the right hand on the floor in front of the chest. Just taking that. The left knee is tucked in behind the right. You can optionally swing the left leg out in front of you where you can see it, the left foot way out in front of your knees. You see it with your eyes. Take the right arm way up to the sky. Reach as high towards the ceiling as you can through the right arm and shoulder. And then turn just ahead. That's what it's going to feel like. Turn just ahead and slowly look up until you capture the back of your cranium with your left palm. Now, lift the low left ribs off the ground, toning the left side body. Pull the sits bones a little bit behind you. And try to turn the buttocks on, all 6 of them. And then keep the arm vertical and look past the shoulder. So we're going to actively turn the head, but don't overdo it. You'll overtax the muscles that spiral around the neck. Keep the eyes really soft. Press the back of the head a little bit into the palm, the left palm. Now reach the right arm around another 50, 60 degrees and then stop. Imagine a wall on your right side that you could press your right hand against and turn your lower body to the left. So the right hand pushes that invisible barrier like a mine, and you're turning the belly, even the diaphragm, all the way down to the sits bones to the left. And then turn the head a little bit more. The belly is powerfully on, the whole body is shaking a little bit because you're fully engaged. Stay strong, everyone, as you release, sliding the left leg out first, roll onto your back, press both legs out, and you see what you've done for yourself. So becoming more and more masterful in our capacity to let go and to have the discernment within the body to know what it is we're letting go of and what we're cultivating, what we're distilling. Okay, these are not practices of control, but practices of alignment and practices of breath. But at the root of the deep practice is the practice of letting go. It's different than throwing in the towel. That has an attitude. This release is just simply a purificatory process. So when you exhale, feel the belly mesh, the fabric of the belly, hollow towards the spine. Touch a few fingertips below the navel to the lower band of the belly, and feel as you exhale, not sucking it in, but there is a tone of emptiness, and this is difficult to describe in words. There's a tone of emptiness. The low belly sinks towards the sacrum and towards the lower few vertebral bodies, L4, L5. Then take one of your hands and cover the front of the diaphragm lovingly, like right across the lower sternum and the lower front ribs. And as the low belly sinks, then also drop the kidneys, and drop the low front ribs, and drop the shoulders, and lay down your bones on the earth. Which is interesting because it has a tone to it. There's an engagement here. Beautiful, everyone. Bend your knees, walk your feet in. Cross your left knee over your right knee and roll onto your right side. Make a pillow with your right arm. And I like to swing the right leg out in front of me so I can see the toes way out in front of the knees. You can turn that right foot a little towards the floor too and push through the heel. And then while you're still here, reach the left arm straight up. Just keep it at vertical for now. And that left arm, that left wing is quite strong, really engaged and reaching towards the ceiling. And then pick up the right low ribs off the ground a touch. You'll feel your left hip move towards your feet. And then turn the head, just the head. You're very soft in the neck at first. Looking up at the left hand. cupping the back of the cranium with the right palm. Now, before we go any further, go ahead and begin to turn the lower half of the body. Start at the diaphragm and moving all the way down to the sits bones. Turn the lower body to the right as much as you can. That's difficult. You're going to pull the right hip, the one on the floor, to your left, behind you. Pull the right kidney to your left, behind you. All this biogeography. Hang with me. Now look past the shoulder. Then reach the left arm out, maybe left to the left, like 60, 70 degrees. And then turn that left hand around and push your fingertips against an invisible wall to turn your lower half to the right more powerfully. Now, honestly, your right buttocks, the ones near the floor, are full on. They need to be to stabilize the sacrum. Everyone close your eyes. Turn the sacrum to the right. Like, what is this guy talking about? Turn the sacrum to the right. Turn the lower lumbar vertebrae to the right. Turn the mind, brain, organ to the left. Now, last two breaths. Try to saturate in between the vertebrae with your breath. Stay strong, stay very engaged as you release out onto your back. It's really important to not go slack before you're in a neutral space. Oh, wow. So straight away, everyone, empty the heart. Let the sacrum feel the movement of the breath. This is not just a fluffy metaphor. This is real. The collagen body interconnects everything, but deeper than that is the consciousness body is inter and intra connected. One of the best things you can do for yourself every day is to get deeply engaged intramuscularly, intracellularly, which is what we're going to do for the rest of class. Bend your knees, walk your feet in. Lift your hips up into the sky, just a few inches off the floor, like a very low bridge. Bring your arms down by your sides, palms up, and then just let the pelvis and the legs swing side to side. Most of the movement is the pelvis. So you're staying very close to the floor, just off the floor with the buttocks, okay? And you can come over to your left side as far as you can go to the left with the hips and then go up as far on the left side. So you're side bending and your back bend. And then come back down on the left side, just hovering off the floor. Go over to the right side and pick up on the right side as high as you can go. Oh, pull the shoulders into the ground. Let the hips come back down on that right side. Go across, hovering over to the left. Lift way up on the left side. So on your own, you basically switch sides when you're low to the floor, and then you go way up on one side and come back down before you switch on your own. And whatever creative impulse comes in, what the feet are doing, what the head and neck are doing, maybe one shoulder comes off the floor. So everyone, we have to say yes as much as we can in this moment to engaging and pulling the feet into the earth, pulling the shoulders and the head into the earth, and opening the front to the sky. You have to have a very strong belly though, very strong belly. Oh, now keep going. What we're gonna do is slide the left leg forward, point the toes towards the ceiling, and the back of the left heel's on the ground. Okay, so we have both feet on the floor, but all of the right foot and the heel of the left foot. Keep moving side to side, and keep climbing the sides and descending the sides before you switch. Keep the straight leg a little bent. Send your breath to where you're feeling it the most. Walk the left foot in, slide the right leg out, keep going. Just another 20 seconds, everybody. You're doing great. You have to strengthen your pull. You have to strengthen your back. Buttocks, all of the back body, even the soles of the feet. Wow. Slide the right foot back in. Let the hips come down. Don't bonk. Just slowly float down. This time, touch the heels together, relatively close to the pelvis. Let the knees slowly drift apart. In fact, take your hands to the inner thighs, palms facing the inner thighs. And before you go your full width with the knees, with your arms, you're gonna press out against the inner thighs, and the legs are gonna press into the hands, and they're gonna be equal to each other. So keep that abducted shoulder pressing out away from the midline, while the legs are adducting. Roll the shoulders into the ground. Okay, and keep that pull of the legs, push with the arms as the knees go a little wider. If you keep the engagement, you'll usually have slightly more range of motion. Try taking the hands closer to the groin, and as you push down towards the floor, you can also roll the flesh of the inner thighs forward toward your toes, immediately rotating the hip. Okay, now bring the kidneys to the floor. Soften the brow. And imagine a giant rubber band around both knees. And you're pushing the knees out away from each other into that. So now the legs change and they move away from each other. The hands are just there to support. Let the low belly sink. This should be very strong. The middle belly sinks. The upper belly sinks. And for a whole new gear, point your sits bones forward and down. Drop the belly again. You should be shivering a little bit, everyone, in the best possible way. And then let the legs push back out long. Oh, somebody say something. Nice. Beautiful. I haven't heard that in like 2 freaking years. God. Wow. Okay, give the sacrum lots of space, which means you just might be able to feel the energy of the inhalation moving up the inseams of the legs, soaking happily the inner thighs. The inner thighs are deep, fertile soil. They're many layers, the abductors. They are like pre-lungs, okay? And if you can feel your inner thighs breathing, then you can access the pelvic floor. And if you can access the pelvic floor, you can breathe and open that sacred diaphragm. And then you can feel the tail and the sacrum spreading out on the earth. A hawk opening her wings and her tail, the sacrum and the tail respectively. And the wisdom of her sight in the deep belly. And the heart is like the sun over her head, on her back. And the third eye is like the crescent moon. Stars all over the scalp and beyond. Okay, everyone, dance your way up to a seat. Holy moly. Okay, so let's do this together. Take the left leg out to the side and the right leg folded in front. You're going to keep the left leg bent and relatively neutral rotation, which means the knee and the toes point straight up. And what we're going to do is lean in a little bit towards the right. Don't go all the way in yet. Okay, to the shoulder is like going to head towards the right knee. Then you'll pass through the middle nice and slow. And as you get over the left leg, there's a bit of a side bend. You're going to really pull the left heel down as much as you can into the ground, so that the back of the left leg is not so much in stretch mode as it is powerful. And then come back up. Okay? Go over to your right side. Let the left leg turn in and push 1 or 2 hands. We often do this, these side bends. You can put your right temple on the ground for a moment. If the right shoulder is too loaded, put the left hand down too. But what I want everyone to do is pull the right shoulder blade as far away from the floor as you can and towards the tail. Also, put the weight on the right index and the right thumb rather than the pinky, the right hand, so the right wrist is light. Dig your right fingertips in, and then push back up. Then go in and lean on the left side. Pass through the middle. Put your right shoulder on your right knee now. Stay here for a moment. Try looking down. Take your right fingertips. I'm talking softly because I'm right next to the microphone. You guys like the late night DJ. Okay, here we go. So watch, take your right fingertips and touch the left shoulder head and roll it onto your back. Put your right hand on your left chest. Pull the kidneys back. Look down. Oh, wow. Try not to tuck your pelvis. Keep the kidneys full. Pull the sits bones back. Turn in, slowly look up. Look up, keep the neck super silky. Try to pull the left heel down into the ground a little bit. Left knee is not straight. Good. And then we're going to come through the middle, back over to the left side. Come back up, lean to the right, one or two hands. This time, slide your left leg back behind you, everyone, so you have a bit of a back bend happening, just on the ball of that left big toe. And then come back up, lean back in on the left side. Knee is bent, sweep through the middle, right shoulder to right knee, pause. Sweep through the middle, go over to the left, leaning over the left leg, really strong hamstrings, come over to the right, push, pull the left leg behind you. Oh, yes. Push back up one more time. Lean over the left leg, pass through the middle, right shoulder to right knee, pause. Now, if you stay here, like, notice the places in your body, and there's no judgment in this, that are slack. It's not that we want them to be rigid. We just want everything to be in support. So turn on the feet, turn on all of the legs, turn on all of the belly, meaning all the way around the spine, and then come back up. All right, good. Switch sides. Take the right leg out. Pause, just pause. We need to be able to experience the simultaneity of release while we're in something. And the way to that is through pausing in between those moments if we have that opportunity. So right now, there's a lot for you to feel. And the mind might try to label and identify and box. Just witness without the concepts. I am always appealing to your conscious animal. Source having a dialogue with itself. All right, everyone. So lean in on the right side. Pull that heel down. So you're pulling. The pulling means that you're pushing the floor down with the heel. The back of the leg is totally on and the knee is bent. And there's a bit of a side bend in your forward bend, okay? And then you're going to sweep through the middle. Don't go to the knee yet. Just come back up. Okay, let's do that again, but go left first. Go a little closer to the knee, sweep through the middle, come over to the right side, and come back up. Now we're going to do that again, but go half as fast and twice as strong. But breathe. So don't freeze the breath. Just put the brakes on. Go ahead and lay your left shoulder on your left knee. Let's not do the head thing yet. Okay, sweep through the middle over to the right side. Slow and strong, slow and strong. Then pull back up. Now go over to your left. Don't do the back bend yet. Just lean one hand in, two hands in. Stay here, put your left temple on the ground. Your right toe, your right big toe can touch the floor. It's totally cool. And just kind of roll the left forehead, left temple gently on the ground. Relax the eyes. Pick up that left shoulder, everybody, every single time. Do not dump the shoulder head towards the floor. I am the voice of your rotator cuff. Okay, and then come back up. Turn the right toes towards the ceiling. I'll lean into the right. Pass through the middle. Left shoulder to left knee. Okay, now from here, you would look down. Look down. This time, put your left palm on the right side of your face. And press your thumb, that's your left thumb, right between the brows. Close your eyes or soften the eyes. With your right hand, touch your low front ribs, top side, right low front ribs, and draw that right kidney back. Okay, but then pull the sits bones back so you're not rounding the spine too much. You're not tucking the pelvis. And then slowly turn the head. See if you can hold the back of the head a little bit with your left hand or the left side behind the ear. Pull the shoulder blades closer together. Reach your right arm over the top and hold your head with your right hand, because why not? Put your left hand on your front diaphragm. Oh, this is sexy. Strike a pose. No, don't do that, please. Okay, now pass through the middle, over to the right side. Oh, come up. Lean to your left now and swing your right leg behind you. Use your right hand if your left shoulder is not up for this. Come back up. Lean in on the right side. Strong through the left belly. Where you feel a stretch, you need to engage. Sweep through the middle, left shoulder to left knee. Stay here for a moment, getting into a rhythm. And pass through the middle to the right. Side bending over the bent right leg. Come up and push left. We usually just call it push. Oh, wow. So that right side belly, you need to engage it by turning the right buttocks on. Come back up. Lean to the right. 2 more rounds. Pass through the middle, left shoulder to left knee. Pause. Pass through the middle to the right, over the right leg. Pull the right heel down to come up and push left. Slide the right leg back behind you. Oh, yeah. One more time. Push up, everyone. Lean in over the right side. Pass through the middle to the left shoulder to left knee. Soft and strong. Pass through the middle to the right. Pull back up and last push. Last push to the left. Slide right leg back. Remember to put the weight on the index and thumb, not the pinky on the left wrist. And come back up and sit cross-legged with the right leg in front. How's everybody doing? What is this stuff, right? It's just movement. It's just movement. And knowing, let the bones teach you. The bones and the joints have been evolving for hundreds of thousands of years. And now they're caught in de-evolution. Not in this room. Let's come into a squat, and it can be any squat. Your heels up, your heels down, your feet turned out, asymmetrical. This is asymmetrical, by the way. And just start moving, and it doesn't matter what it is. Now, a couple of things, I know some of you are relatively new, brand new. It's really important for knees that the thigh and the foot point in the same direction. No matter where I go, that thigh and foot point in the same direction, especially when you're loading, like this back leg here, my left foot. If I've got the knee turned in and the foot turned out, or vice versa, it's no bueno. So, and then you rock and you see what you can do. If you're asymmetrical, you can turn around 180 and you're doing the other side. Now relax the neck, put your hands on the ground, put weight into the hands, and just basically somewhere between a frog and a monkey. You're loving this. Now, look, another thing for the knees, and it can take 2 years to rehab your knees for real. You need to actively engage the floor with your toes. If you're not, if the feet are lazy, and they tend to be culturally generalizing, then the knees are unsupported. So grab on your toes, careful as you turn, especially if you're on a mat. You may want to lose your mat for this. Now everyone try crossing your squat. There's a couple ways to do this, right? So all I did, so everyone, let's do this together. Take your right foot in front. And the way this works usually is the whole foot is down, and then we're on the ball of the back foot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to the right, and there you go. So you're basically about to have a seat. But then slide your right foot more forward, and then step your right leg over your left. A crossing squat. Isn't that amazing? I'm a salesman, okay? Get used to it. Now rock around. So crossing the squat. Rock around in this. It's like turbo Gomukhasana. Oh, now slide the right foot forward, uncross. Now check this out. With a long squat, turn to your left, 180. Now the left leg is long. We call this a long squat. Cross over and move around. So use your hands, interface with the earth. Take care of your joints. Now go slower, slower and stronger. Find your breath again. Pull out the eyes. Let your head look around. Okay, slide the left leg off the top. Have a seat. Doesn't matter what seat it is. Now just give yourself a moment. There are very few things that move power and energy through the lower lymphatic system like squatting. Very little. It might be the ultimate. So without expectation, you relatively quickly let your breath return to the nose. If the nose is clear, inhale through the nose. You can exhale either through the nose or through the mouth. But okay, let's return to the squat. So the key of squatting, the shape key. We're going to go to the shape of holding. So you're hinging at the hips and basically hanging down over the legs. And these are bent. And notice I'm already moving side to side. So this bilateral pulse. Pulsation is another piece of movement. These loose terms that describe the fundamentals of movement. Pulsation or rhythm is basically the dance. So the feet are kind of parallel for now. And you're moving side to side, slower and stronger. This is one of the most therapeutic things you can do for your back, for shedding your past, shedding your history when you're ready. And moving side to side. Now, I want you to imagine that you're moving in water. And there's the viscosity change. There's the slowing down. That's what you have to create. It's a technology, everyone, of awareness. Metaphor. Moving in water. But then what if you're moving in honey? And you've got to really work. Just, don't keep your tongue out inside your mouth for too long. Move side to side, pulling, pushing. Now turn your hands out. Turn your hands out. Turn your legs a little bit out. Now let's go beyond the viscosity of honey. I want you to imagine you can move the entire planet side to side with your hands and with your feet. So instead of the earth being your stable reference and your body moving side to side, your spine is stable in the sky and you're moving the earth side to side. Can you feel that? Yeah, and then let the head turn from side to side, looking wherever it wants to. And everyone, you've got to engage. Push the palms down into the ground so much that you feel your belly lift away from the ground towards the sky, engaging the hollow belly. When you turn your hands out, work the shoulders, like you're trying to pull the hands apart, even though they don't go anywhere. And you're just a happy, conscious monkey on top of the world itself as a beach ball. Okay, good. Now, from here, bend the knees, take your hands up onto your knees, widen your stance, and keep going. Actually, put elbows on knees. So I want you to push down on a knee and push down on that same foot to move to the other side. Remember, you're moving the clay. You're moving the riverbed. Very powerful. You can shake and shiver, and it's releasing micro trauma and micro fear. Love to hear your breath, and it's so good. And then come up to standing. Keep pulsing side to side, and come up to standing. Working all the way up. Standing. So the lines blur. The lines blur between things we may have known as Qigong, Tai Chi, Kung Fu, dance, yoga. And here we are in the key of standing. And it is still moving. Very, very small. Move side to side. And the pulse. Pulse is moving more than anything. If you go through life, and your pelvis moves more than any other part of your body, you're going to have a good life. Real. So slow now, slow everyone. This is tricky. A lot of people ask me, what are you talking about? Say turn everything on. I'm like, I don't know. Turn everything on. But it takes the movement is the context. It's the informer. Just like when you were a baby, you were much more gelatinous, and you were pushing and pulling and tasting everything. So here you are in your quantum reality. That means the very subtle. And like with the intelligence of a mime at the circus, start to find tension, attention, like attention, a tension throughout your embodiment. It is wakefulness. It is a yes to celebrating the life that we've all been gifted. You move your hips, folks. Now turn to your left, a quarter turn. Your left foot is in front. Now we're going to rock forward and back. Okay, when you rock forward, you can kind of get into a little bit of a back bend space like this. So you're like almost on the way from the left foot, right foot, I'm on the ball. And then you rock back, you have something like this, cat stance or whatever. Go slow, relax, let your breath come back to the sacrum. And what I invite for all of you is to move the planet forward and back with your feet. So when your hips go forward, you're pulling the ground back. When your hips go back, you're pushing the ground forward with your feet. Imagine being on a treadmill. Pulling the treadmill back to move forward. Pushing, reversing the treadmill to move your hips back. Just like we did sitting. And then turn the front leg out and keep going. And when you turn your front leg out, you're going to keep your left knee pointing where your left toes are. Very important. Try picking up the light foot. So when you're leaning forward, pick up the back foot. When you're leaning back, pick up the front leg. A few inches off the ground, just giving you some balance invitation. And then turn the front leg. Next time you rock back, turn the front leg in across the knee. Now when you rock forward, be very careful. Turn the left knee all the way out to the right. So left knee crosses the knee, picking up the left foot. Go slower, stronger, softer in the senses, easier in the breath. And then to turn around, just turn 180 to your right. Just keep moving there and keep rocking all the way around to your right, 180 degrees, and you're moving front to back now, with the right leg leading. So the rhythm, the pulsation is the shamanic piece, right? It's this calling us in the dance to explore time and space. Turn the front leg out, the right leg out, keep moving. So when you are able to articulate the rotation of hip, knee, and foot at the same time, this is also knee therapy. Picking up the light foot, whichever one that happens to be in the moment. And everyone, it's this tempo, the rhythm, and the pulsation. It gives the meaning to the movement, gives the meaning to the embodiment. Turn the front leg in, across the midline, immediately rotating the right hip, and when you lean forward, make sure the knee points across the midline. There's a lot of work, right? Your legs are like, whoa, what did I get myself into? So good. Why is this so hard? Elizabeth asks. Yeah, there's lots of answers. We don't need to go in. Don't worry about it. Okay, we're going to turn a quarter turn to your left. Look down at your feet. And turn your feet parallel. One of the best hip openers you'll ever do is keeping your feet tracking parallel most of the time when you're walking or you're just standing. Very different than this. Okay. So neutral, knees bent, and just giving yourself a chance to feel everything you're feeling. It doesn't need words, perhaps. So let's do just a little bit more here. So we're going to balance on the right leg, and anything goes. Anything goes. And you've been balancing, but now you can just kind of like, okay, you're on a slack line, it's not slack, and you're just playing. Now, if you bend the standing knee, the right knee, you're going to have a lower gravity center and it's easier to balance. And just moving around, crossing the midline, doing whatever you like. Just make sure it looks good, okay? Slow and strong. Articulate everything. Hands, forearms, everything. And notice the movement actually gives you staying power because the muscles fatigue less if you're able to balance yourself while you're still standing on one leg. Put the left foot down. Pause. Shift your weight onto your left leg. Bend the knee and balance. Woo. So buttocks and belly, talk about this a lot. Buttocks and belly, the middle band of the belly of the body, basically showing up more consistently. Buttocks can be a little bit difficult to access. Toning them. So see if you can. For the longest time, I had an aversion to using the word squeeze. Now it's like one of my favorite words. Squeeze the buttocks, everyone. But don't. I say I have to breathe. Okay, put the right foot down. Practice emptiness on your feet. Standing at the line of the co-op, or wherever there's still a line, and you're practicing emptiness. You're holding space for yourself, and therefore that emanates and ripples outwards. You begin to hold space for everyone in your local vicinity. Maybe they're doing the same thing. Okay, let's come back down to the key of folding. Bend the knees, drop back down. Move side to side again. But this time, everyone, hop your left foot across the midline behind you. Now you're in a crouch, or the key of crouching, and we're crossing the midline. So just see what you can do here. Absolutely phenomenal for the hips, which means it affects the shoulders and the eyes. I mean, I don't know how I got here, but what? I mean, crossing the midline. And then uncross the left and swing the right leg back and across the midline. Yeah, sounds good, everyone. Moving energy. Spring is full on. So remember, you're not looking for a stretch. If you have the habit of looking for a stretch, it's not your fault. Just try to tone the stretch until it doesn't feel like stretched anymore. It feels just strong. That can be difficult. Uncross and have a seat. Okay. Yum, yum, yum. So yummy. Just give yourself a few moments. Just and the seduction for the mind is anytime we're even remotely comfortable, have a moment, the mind will take full advantage, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a natural function. But within that mind, yogis call it buddhi, like Buddha with an I instead of an A. And it is discernment. It is the capacity of presence to recognize that the mind is going to Whole Foods while you're sitting here right now. And so the discernment allows for both things to happen at the same time. The mind will go, but then there's part of you, that which matters most, is right here in this moment, in the temple of the pelvis and belly, in the midline, in the mid-space. The heart blossoms when it feels such presence and support from below. The chest broadens without pulling the shoulders back, it's just wide. And you lean back against your aspen. in one moment. So let the senses breathe, the sense organs breathe. They are truly organic. So they interface with the exterior world and my voice and the sounds of the space, and the interior world are unified. Hmm. Stay way up high on the sits bones. The belly is close to the spine. All right, everyone. So I'm going to get us into two sequences. I almost always do this at near the end of class. We go through these very detailed guided sequences. Um, we'll repeat them. So here we go. So right leg is in front, sitting cross-legged. What we're going to do is bring the palms together, touching the ring and pinky fingers to the floor. Now, right here, watch me. Don't do this. When you start pressing the midline, you can get all kinds of wacky with your shoulders. Keep the elbows down and the biceps up and press until you're shaking. Press more and then sit up on high on the sits bones. Press more. Keep the press and pull the hands to the heart. That shivering, that thunderbolt, pull it to the heart. Good. Yeah, now push your hands over to your left, reaching, and as you reach to your left across the body, turn the thumbs to the left and keep squashing the palms together. The left elbow drops underneath. Then see if you can turn the thumbs towards the floor and still press the hand. Now drop the right shoulder blade and ease the right side of the neck. And then let go. And as you split the arms, the left arm stays to the left, and you're going to reach your right arm across the field, palm up, and lean as far to the right as you can until you're about to fall. Catch yourself on your right hand, and let's push right. Wow. And then come back up. Come back up. Now, all we're going to do is turn a quarter turn to our left. Look how simple this is. Do an asymmetrical squat from your left, right foot leading. Yeah. And what we're going to do is slide the right foot further forward along the squat. Stay here for a moment. Keep the hands on the floor, fingertips on the floor, and just rock slightly on that back leg, pointing the left knee, the left toes, the same direction. Okay, what we're going to do is cross the right leg over the left, like we did earlier, knee over knee. Okay, and from here, lower the left knee down to the floor. Keep the left toes tucked under. The right calf is crossing over the left knee. Take your hands forward and fold into it. And then just rock side to side a little bit. Torso and hips moving the planet side to side. Your left knee, your left foot, your hands. Scoop the belly away from the floor, hollowing the belly. Turning the head from side to side as you're able. So good. And then what we're going to do is simply walk the hands back, lift the left knee back up, slide the right foot forward, uncross. We go ahead and lift up into a crouch. The key of crouching. So the stance length varies, but basically both knees are bent and you're rocking more or less front to back, playing around. Just go slow and go strong. Go consciously. And then we're going to turn all the way around to our left, 180 degrees, crouching with the left foot forward and keep playing. See what you can do without trying to reinvent the wheel. You have to really listen to your bones. Now, we're going to take the hands out in front, put the palms down, turn the hands out a bit, and then fly the right leg straight back and bend the sky leg and take the knee up. And pick up the left heel off the floor and lean into the hands, like you're going to kick up into a handstand. Now play around here for a moment. And what we're going to do is jump, switch the legs. So jump, put your right foot down, left leg flies. Oh, I know, right? Now, drop the left leg as far back as you can. Good. So it's kind of basically a lunge. And what we're going to do is walk the hands back and fall into a very long squat on the left side. So this is tricky. So again, look at your left foot. Is it pointing with the left knee? And then check this out. Put your left hand outside the knee. Sit forward, left leg in front. Bonus points, you end up facing where you started. It's completely irrelevant, but if you're a Virgo, what's your birthday?
27th
of August? September? Mine's the 3rd. Now I know you're feeling light. And this practice of emptiness is also a practice of allowance. Of allowance. Just so that discernment, buddhi, its greatest power is of discernment, which means of witness. Just watch. Just feel. Okay, everybody, here we go. Bring the palms together low. Elbows in close. Push the palms. Broaden the shoulders. Push. Chest fully engaged. Belly engaged. Pull the thunderbolts up to the heart. Elbows in close. Good. Now, point to your right. You're reaching your left arm across. The thumbs turn to the right slowly. You should be trembling here. You're so strong. Press the palms together. Turn the thumbs down. Now, the left arm is straight. The right arm is not. Look at the right arm is underneath, crossing the left. And then split the arms. Reach left, left palm up. Reach right, right palm down until the right hip comes off the floor. And then lean more and catch yourself on your left hand and push. Use your free hand if you need to. Remember, the left shoulder stays away from the floor as much as you can. Then we're going to come up, push back up. And then a simple quarter turn to your right, asymmetrical squat, left foot leading. Stay here for a sec. It's first time through the sequence on both sides. I want you to feel good. Take your space. Make your modifications. Take care of yourself. You're in a safe space. We're going to slide the left leg forward into a long squat. And then cross. So if you lower your right knee down, you can cross your left foot over the midline. Then back up. Take the right knee off the floor for a second. And cross squat like we did earlier. And then just stay in the cross and drop the right knee down. Slide your hands forward. Put the palms down. Keep your right toes tucked under if you can, okay? And rock the world side to side. I'm sure if we made an Embody Keys t-shirt that said rock the world, no one would understand what we're really talking about. Move the planet. It's a form of engagement, interaction. You're an acupuncture needle on the earth. And then come back up, lift the right knee, slide the left leg off the top to a long squat. Lift the hips, and you're in a crouch, left leg leading. There's some really good sounds in here. Great. So you're exploring your hips, you're exploring your legs, you're exploring. Go slower, stronger, breathe more. Furrow the brow less. Turn around 180 to the right. You're in a crouch, right leg leading. It's like so good. Now, we're going to leap forward onto the hands. Take the left leg up, kind of like a half moon. As your left leg goes up, bend the knee. Trace patterns on the sky with the left knee. Lift the right heel and really load the hands. Keep your head down. And then jump switch. Nice, everyone. Right leg in, left leg down. Drop the left heel. Push the right leg as far back as you can. Land like a lunge. Then keep reversing with your hands. And you're in a long squat. Take your right hand outside your right knee. Load the right hand. And sit. Crossing the right leg in front. And sit close to the left foot. And that's the sequence. Is everyone okay? The diversity of the translation of creative energy through the body is parallel to a diversity of experience. So feel right now, not just the physical and energetic return of spaciousness and the reorganization of your organism, but you're deepening your life right now. Okay, let's roll through this again. Bring the palms together in front of you, touching the floor, and slowly build the pressure between the palms, holding the midline that's projected out in front of you. Pull the hands to the heart, opening the chest, keep the kidneys back, right up to the body, right up to the front of the diaphragm. Good, and then point left, both hands left, thumbs to the left, right arm on top. Turn the thumbs down as far as you can. Now strong, pull the right shoulder down, loosen the neck, push the palms more, you should be shaking, and then split the hands, right arm to the right, palm up, left arm to the left, palm down. You're gonna reach to your right until the left hip comes off the floor, and then you'll fall and catch and push. Take it slow, easy eyes, beautiful eyes. Come on up, and a quarter turn to your left, right leg in front of you, asymmetrical squat. Slide the right foot forward, put the left knee down, cross the midline with the right leg, and then lift the left knee and do it across the squat. Move around in this for a moment. Just really slow. Give yourself permission. There's no right or wrong. The only thing that you got to really pay attention to is, are your joints okay? When the joint's not feeling good, it usually needs a deeper alignment and more strength. Okay, put the left knee down. We still have crossed legs. Slide the hands forward, palms down. Lean in and sway side to side, from hips to brain. Everyone, we're moving the ground side to side. Turn the head and look off to the right or to the left. Turn the biceps towards the ceiling. Dig soft cat claws into the ground. Walk your hands back. Lift the left knee. Slide the right leg off. Lift the hips. Use your hands. You're in a crouch. Right leg leading. Breathe now. Breathe. Breathe your feet. Breathe your legs, your pelvic floor. Turn around to your left, 180 degrees. Crouch, left leg leading. Stronger and slower and somehow more spacious for your tone. Now leap forward. Left leg is the standing leg, palms on the floor. Turn the hands out, take the right leg up and fly. Lift the left heel. Really load into the hands if you're okay in the shoulders. Jump switch. Left leg up. Moving. I'm going to drop the right heel. Push the left leg back. Land. Walk your hands back into a very long squat. Beautiful transition. Take your left hand outside your left knee. Load the left hand. Sit forward. Your left leg ends up in front. And if it didn't, you'll figure it out. So your heart rate is elevated. How cool. Let the heart thunder. Give it space to beat its powerful rhythm between blossoming lungs. No control, just elemental forces, elemental flow. Okay, everyone, one more time through this one, and then we have one more sequence. So push the palms, press and pull up to the heart. And then push right, point right, and the left palm rolls on top. And the thumbs turned down, and we're still pressing the palms, even here. Just very open, powerful shoulders. And then split. The left arm reaches left. Lean to your left. Left palm is up, right palm is down. And then catch yourself before you fall. And push left. Coming back up. Quarter turn to your right. Left foot leading in an asymmetrical squat. Slide the left foot further forward. Put the right knee down. Cross the left leg over the midline. Pick up the right knee and play. Now you're tangled up, so it's not like you're going to do backflips here, but you can just explore the movement. Try leaning back and taking the front foot off the floor as the knees stack, balancing on the ball of the right foot, or not. It's just an idea. Put the right knee down, slide the hands forward. Lean in and swaying side to side. Now remember to pick up the belly. You want to actually round the spine here. Loosen the neck and let the head be free to look around and explore your environment. Strong everywhere and somehow simultaneously, miraculously supple and strong. Back up, pick up the right knee, slide the left leg off, lift the hips, and you're in a crouch, left foot leading, doing your thing. Slower now, everyone, slow. I know we get into a quicker pace. It's easier that way when you slow it down and strengthen it. Keep the pelvic floor empty. You're going to pivot, turn to your right, 180. Crouching, right leg leading. So you want to bring all of you to the moment. Everything. Leap forward under the hands. Turn the palms out a little. Take the left leg out. Pick up the right heel as much as you can. As much as you're comfortable doing so. Lean and load into the hands. Jump switch. Land the left heel. Push the right heel way back. Land the right foot. Drop back into a long squat. Careful with the right knee. Take your right hand outside your right knee. Load the right hand. Sit to the left foot. Right leg in front. So much to be grateful for. So much to release. It's easy to lose our sources of inspiration. Another translation of inspiration is inhalation. And another translation of exhalation is expiration. Release. But when you release, sit just a little bit taller. Feeling the core turning on all the way. And when you exhale, get a little taller still, pushing the sits bones down. Wow. So the final sequence, everyone, is going to be from standing. So take your time. See if I can remember this without the notes. So we're going to start. This one's really fluid and a little bit Tai Chi-ish. So feet close, look down at the feet. And actually, I would take the feet a little bit wider apart. Lay your hands on the body somewhere intuitively. Beautiful. I love how I've seen everybody move just off without guidance. It's freaking amazing. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let me show the first part. So I'm going to shift and pivot. I'm going to get into a cat stance. Just watch. I'm going to stay on the ball of the foot and lean into it. It's like a dance move, right? Like that. It's like, oh. Get up on the ball of the foot, and then what you're going to do is, as you balance on the ball of the foot, you're going to take the back foot off the floor. Okay, and then we're going to push. Okay, so that's how it starts. Let's do that together. Here we go. Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. All right, here we go, everyone. So knees bent a little bit, lower your gravity center, come in. So you can shift your hips to the left a little, turn your feet to the right a bit, turn your right foot at 90 degrees, and you're in a cat stance. Okay, good. If you don't know this, don't worry about it, just play. Now stay on the ball of the right foot and lean forward. Okay, now try to balance on the ball of the foot and hover the back heel, then drop the right heel. Now press the left leg as far back as you can. Yeah, kind of like a half moon, but the standing knee is bent. Then come up and bring the left leg across the midline, like eagle, but just touch the ball of the left foot down. Then transfer the weight to the left leg and balance on the left, and then catch your back foot, your right foot with your left hand for a moment. Now, release that foot. Bring the right leg around in front, cross the midline, touch the ball of the right foot down, landing the eagle, transfer your weight onto your right leg. Now watch. Take a step back with your left leg, and then drag your right heel to you. And turn to zero. Okay? Shift your hips to the right, turn a little to your left, left leg turns out, cat stance. Okay, lean forward onto the ball of the left foot, balance, lift the back foot, drop the left heel, push the right leg back and up, pick up the kidneys, and stand up, cross the right leg over the top, right over left like eagle, but touch the ball of the right foot. Transfer your weight onto your right leg, and then catch your left ankle with your right hand. Stay bent, stay easy, stay strong. Release the left foot, bring the left leg around over the top, touch the left foot down, transfer your weight into your left leg, take a big step back with your right, and drag your left heel to you, and come back to zero. Yeah. Love it. Here we go. Ready? Turn to the right, a quarter turn cat stance. Balance on the ball of the right foot. Land the heel, push the left leg, fly. Stand up, left leg crosses over. Bend the knees, touch the ball of the left foot. Shift your weight to your front leg, it's your left leg. Catch the right ankle with the left hand. Release that back leg, cross over the top. Right foot touches, crossing the midline. Shift your weight to your front leg. Take a step back with your left leg and drag the heel to you. Turn left, quarter turn. Cat. Lean into the front. Ball of the left foot. Over. Drop the heel, push the right leg. The more you reach the right heel back, the higher the leg will go. Stand up. Cross right over left. Landing the eagle. Balance on the right leg. Catch the left ankle with the right hand. Release the front foot. Cross the left over the right. Touch. Transfer the weight to the left foot. Step back with the right. And drag the heel. Pause. We'll do it one more time. Just pause. Put one hand on the low belly. Low. And the back of the other hand on the sacrum. Feel the space between your hands and see if you can breathe between your hands, closer to the back hand. Spreading the tailbone, spreading the sacrum. Empty the heart as it continues to stay elevated. Okay, here we go, everyone. Shift your hips to your left, turn to your right, quarter turn, cat stance. Stay on the ball of the foot, lean into it, balance, and then drop the heel, press the left leg back and up. Keep your standing leg bent. Stand, cross the midline, left foot touches, then the heel comes down, catch the right ankle with your left hand. Release the right leg out on top, crossing, touch the right foot over the midline, land the right heels, take a big step back with your left foot, and drag. Turn straight away to your left. Cat stance. Load the left leg. Drop the heel slowly as the right leg takes off. Stand, cross over the top. Right over left. Stand on the right leg, catch the left ankle. One more time with the right hand. Let go, left leg crosses over in front. Touch the left, land the left heel, step back, drag the heel. Good. Now, coming down into any squat. Have a seat, everyone. And lying down on your back and rest. It's resting in space is so important, so vital. So don't expect yourself to do anything. Just observe. Just observe with love and patience, compassion. Remember what you are. And feel the cellular breath beyond mouth and nose and lungs. Sea foam on the power of ocean waves. There's always more release, more depth. That exhalation that returns profound length and spaciousness. with no destination. Everything is a transition. And play with whatever the movements are, whatever it feels like to transition from your rest to the rest of the flow of your Saturday. Coming up to a seat in time. But remain curious. And sitting comfortably. Wow. Deepest gratitude, everyone. It's an honor. Thanks for sharing yourselves and part of a beautiful day. Oh my gosh. Blessings. I'll see you soon, I hope.
Thank you, Sean.
So welcome.